right. We're going live here, waiting to get some people in. Today we're talking about building muscles. So I want to answer your questions that you have specifically related to building muscle, and we're going to focus on the most effective way. So I'm not getting into crazy stuff. That is usually the number one thing that derails guys, is trying to do all this fancy stuff and they don't even have the basics down right. This might not be the best time. All right. Just waiting for people to come in here, and we're going to talk about, answer questions about building muscle and the most effective way to do that in the least amount of time. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to spend all day in the gym. So we want to, remove the things that kind of don't contribute a lot and focus on only the minimum things that contribute the most to your results. So if you've got questions, you can throw those in the chat box. Once we get some more people shown in here, I just fired this up. We will get rocking. I figured this might be a fun way just to get some videos out. It's been a while since I've done some videos. Been really busy with work, and I do have some new ones planned. I'm filming some on Sunday, and they will be coming out probably a week or two after that. But in the meantime, it's like, hey, we can do some live training, some live coaching, and see what challenges you're facing, what you're stuck with, and how we can get you over that hump. So feel free to type anything in the chat box. It should be on. Let me check here. This is my first live stream, so we got to make sure everything's good to go. It looks like we're good. I think I've got a message in there, and we can get rocking. But yeah, I mean, so as far as building muscle, first of all, a lot of guys always ask, like, well, should I lose fat first, or do I need to do cardio, or should I build muscle first? And the best focus is building, just training in general. Your best focus is building muscle first, for a couple reasons. First of all, it's to increase your strength and just your overall health and vitality. So as a man, like, it's your job in some capacity to be strong, and that's going to help you, avoid a lot of injuries from falls and anything else that you're doing, helping people move, whatever. So just having that strength is a benefit. On top of it, when you build a lot of muscle, you're raising the energy cost to run your body. So you basically you're burning fat more naturally throughout the day, like much faster, because now it costs a lot more energy to keep all that muscle going. So the main goal, like, instead of thinking about, I need to build muscle and burn fat, just focus on building muscle, and that's going to help get rid of the fat. Like, that will getting rid of the fat will fall off by itself if you focus on and really nail in getting muscle to grow. So Christian, what's up, man? He wants to know, what is the perfect lean snack that can be made in mass quantities? Well, what if with whatever snack you're eating, you want to have protein in it. So I mean, tuna fish is a lean snack, and it's easy to carry around, but it may not be popular to eat depending on where you're at. There are plenty of tuna cans where it's pull open, you don't need the can opener. But the best, a great lean snack would be hard-boiled eggs. So just make a bunch of those, and that's great protein. Let's see, next question we've got. I'm in school and I can't carry around food or leave whenever I want to get food, so what are the best snacks to carry out? Well, same thing, like the eggs, although you'd have to eat those earlier in the day, and then you'd have to have probably like a protein bar or something later in the day. Is doing 90-degree chest press half reps? I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're asking there. Maybe, Darian, if you want to rephrase that. But yeah, so anyways, back to just building muscle. The Hold on, let me check on my settings here. It's telling me my frames are dropping. Try this. Well, you can eat eggs later in the day, Christian. I was just saying when you bring them to school, like you don't want them sitting out all day and then eat them 7 hours after they've been out of the fridge. Okay. So, all right, how to mix strength and bodybuilding in the same program? Well, see, there you go. Like that's a good question, but it's the wrong question because you should be getting stronger with every workout. So strength and bodybuilding are not independent workouts. You should be getting stronger with every single workout. Can you lose 20 pounds a month without losing muscle? Yeah. I mean, it depends on where you're starting. So how do you stay motivated if you're training to keep your training day? If your day starts at 6 a.m. and ends around 9 p.m. Well, you're obviously not working every day, so you may need to work out on the days that you have off. But 9 p.m. you probably don't want to work out after that. You're better off getting up at 5 and doing a short 30-minute workout to start off your day. That's the best way to get you going. You're energized. You got the hardest thing done. So I would focus on that. Connor wants to know, I train in boxing for 3 days a week, but I want to start gaining weight. Is lifting? Yeah, lifting 2 days a week plus upping your calorie intake will be enough. No, I wouldn't take time off from the gym because you need that's sport-specific training, so you need to do that. And if you add in weightlifting, you just need to make sure you're adding enough recovery, i.e. food in this case, for your body to put on muscle. And that's a big thing, guys, with building muscle. Everybody knows, like, we go to the gym and lift. Like, that's step one. Everyone seems to kind of, in some capacity, understand that. But where they fall off the wagon is they don't put the right food in their body, or they don't put enough food in their body for their body then to maximize their training. Because you can lift all day until you're blue in the face, but if you aren't giving your body the fuel and the materials it needs and the quantities it needs, you're never going to build muscle. And then the third step is if you're not giving your body the time it needs to build muscle, i.e. sleep, at least 6 to 7 hours, ideally 8, maybe even 9, because that's when your body, towards the end of your sleep cycles, when a lot of your hormones get released for building muscle. Those are the two big focus areas that I see a lot of guys making mistakes for building muscle. So Dean wants to know, what is the ideal time under tension per set for muscle growth? So that's like, these are kind of questions, man, it's like they just make me laugh, because I mean, who knows? Like, I've never, in my whole lifting career, I've never even bothered with time. I don't even know, like, because it's not important. Like, and it's a good question, because a lot of people, want to know, but the point here with this channel is for you to change your thinking, because asking those kind of questions means you're on the wrong path, because you're focusing on the minutia, the little things that don't matter at all or have very little impact on your training, instead of, am I doing the correct exercises? Am I increasing my strength? Am I taking the right amount of calories in? Like, those are the questions that you should be asking and focusing on, not, am I doing 90-degree bench press? Am I doing superset, rest set, time under tension? All that stuff is like, those are like geek out questions that, I remember back in the day when I got started, like, I would be all into that. But that was when most of the time you're spending is like reading about stuff and not actually doing anything. So when you get busy in your life and you're actually doing stuff, like, you don't have time to worry about that. And that actually helps you, because you eliminate the things that don't matter and you get working on what does. So if you work out late, what's the best choice of food before bed? Before I go to bed, I like to get casein shakes. And I actually just got, let's see, I think I just got one here. UPS just dropped it off. Since this is live, we can open it up. Gotta love Amazon. Let's see. So, yep. So I got, before I go to bed, I like, this is, Optimum Nutrition casein protein. So it's a slower digesting protein. I like to have that with some creatine and milk before I go to bed, regardless of whether I worked out or not. But you don't need to use supplements to gain muscle. Food is what you need, like good food and natural food, not processed food. That's what matters most. Supplements can help and they can be more convenient, but they are not going to, they're not the secret sauce, despite what they claim, to you getting the results that you want. So let's see. Every time I do deadlifts, I get a sharp pain. Yeah, I mean, so a couple things, like when you're lifting and you have injuries or pain or something doesn't feel right, that is a sign that your body is telling you, hey, something something is not right. So you don't like coming to the internet to get that diagnosis is not the correct course of action. What you want to do is ask a trainer or find someone in the gym who's qualified and can see what you're doing and break it down and help you get it fixed. So any type of pain, you don't necessarily want to just power through it because that's how you can hurt yourself. You want to make sure you're doing the correct form. Connor says, thank you. You're welcome, man. Is my casein different than the ON Gold? Yeah, I guess this is like their platinum. I mean, to be honest, it's probably just marketing stuff. But, Optimum Nutrition Gold, like that's usually what I have. That's pretty good. I just wanted to try this. Are single exercises better in building muscle? Absolutely not. Nope. If you want to, again, we're talking about building muscle here, guys, so welcome if you're just joining. But best exercises for building muscle are compound lifts, and you can go watch. I've got a video on my channel. You should have already watched it by now. 7 best exercises for building a Greek god body: bench press, squats, deadlifts, press, dips, pull-ups, and leg lifts. I think that might be 8, but still, all of those are compound lifts, and you can do barbell rows as well. Just doing those, even if you never did any isolation exercises, and all you do are those exercises, you're going to put on more muscle, because your body, think about it, none of your muscles work by themselves. When you're moving your arm, it's not your bicep, it's your bicep and your tricep that are working together. So your body's a system, and it wants to be trained as a system. So when you do isolation curls, if you're normal like us and you're not taking steroids, it doesn't really add a lot of benefit. Now you hear a lot about isolation exercises for bodybuilding and all that kind of stuff because a lot of those guys take some type of steroids or pro hormone or whatever, and for them that's fine. But the same training doesn't apply for us because we're not taking that. So let's see here. Am I familiar with Jim Stepani? I am not. I mean, I've heard of his name, but I don't. I'm not familiar with him. Can you talk about workout splits, full body versus split routine for natural lifters? Yeah. So I mean, workout splits, are really just a way to kind of mix up the stress that you put on your body. So let's just back up here, and again, we're talking about building muscle here, guys. So building muscle is the formula is you put some stress on your body, and then you let your body recover, and then you put a little bit more stress, and then you let your body recover, and you put a little bit more stress, and so on and so forth. And so how you put that stress on is part of the formula, because if you're just doing the same exercise and the same weight forever and ever, well, you're not going to build any muscle. It's just like a suntan. If you stay outside every day for 5 minutes in the sun and that's it, every day for 5 minutes, well, you're never going to get super dark because you're not extending the stress, i.e. the sun's rays, on your skin. On the flip side, if you stand out first day of spring or summer, first time you've been in the sun for 5 hours with no sunscreen, you're going to turn into a lobster and really damage your skin and cause a whole bunch of problems. So it's about finding that balance. So with training splits, first of all, the main thing is you want compound lifts in every day that you're training, whatever you're doing, whether it's body part split or full split or push pull or whatnot. And the second thing is you want to be climbing the strength ladder. So there's a link in the description box below, the Spartan Strength ladder. If you haven't gone through that, why are you on this channel? I'm just kidding, but you should go through that and watch those videos, because that's the most important tool you'll ever learn in training. But yeah, once you can see, Andre, after you've got all that figured out, It's just a matter of personal preference, and mixing up full body splits or push pull, like either one's fine. Like, you're going to be lifting for the rest of your life, so sometimes do a full body split, sometimes do maybe a body part per day, sometimes 3 days per week. It also is going to depend on your schedule, but there is no like think about it, like there is no one best routine that you're going to do forever for the rest of your life. And that's another thing, guys, like at least from this channel and for me, like I'm teaching you how to change your mindset and lifestyle to build the body. So this isn't like a 90-day thing where like suddenly you're transformed and it's over. No, like you need to accept the fact that for you to get better both physically and mentally, like you are on a journey to continually train and improve yourself for the rest of your life. Okay, so when you step back and look at it like that, that kind of almost gives you a peace in the sense that there's, you're not freaking out because you've got time. That's not an excuse to be lazy, but like, hey, I'm going to be going at this forever. I'm going to make some mistakes, learn some things, because certain stuff that works for me or works for the next guy is not going to work for you. But it's not my job to figure that out. It's not his job to figure it out. It's your job to figure it out. You are the only one. You are 100% responsible for your needs, your health, your muscle growth, and your happiness. Like nobody else on this planet is. And the sooner you accept that and embrace it, the better off you're going to be in your training life. So let's see. All right, cool. We got lots of questions coming in here. Trying to go through. So Luis Gonzalez focuses on 5x5 compound lifts. Yeah, heavy or low reps are good, and you can mix in some higher range ones after that. That's fine. But if you're starting with those heavy reps, that's always good. I like the look of your Sparta 7. How many reps and sets for the exercises? Well, I don't know, Dean. I'm not really sure what you're referring to there. How often am I doing cardio? So I don't actually do a whole lot of cardio. I hate cardio. It's not fun for me. But I dance, so I get a lot of my cardio in when I go country dancing, and that's more fun because I'm spinning around hot chicks on the dance floor and getting my workout in. So that's and I usually do that for about an hour or 2 hours a week, sometimes more. Actually, probably more like 2 to 4 hours a week. Building muscle while losing fat. So, yeah. It's not, you just focus on building muscle. When you build muscle, the fat's going to fall off because your body's going to raise the overall metabolism, meaning all the energy it needs to run, and the fat it's going to start using fat as energy, as long as you're not putting in McDonald's cheeseburgers and stuff. Creatine's fine. I've got plenty of videos on that, so you can look on the channel, and that would be good. So I can't get my lower abs to show. Yeah, I don't know, man. So that's another interesting thing. Like, obviously everyone has their own personal goals for training, but I really don't get into bodybuilding. I've never competed. I never will compete. Well, I say like I compete against myself every day, right? That's my line for that. But I don't need to go on stage. So when you start getting into stuff like, oh, my calf's a little bit bigger than my left calf or whatever, or my right calf, or I can't quite see enough definition in my particular left ab, I would just challenge you and be like, why is that really important? What is the validation or the criteria that's like a success metric? Like, if you're benching double your weight than when you started and you're able to press this amount and your energy's through the roof and you have a nice masculine frame, it's just gonna be easy to get to focus on the small negative things that we're not happy about on our body, when in reality there's so many other positive things that you just focus on that and realize, it's not as big of a deal. So training, and that's the thing. Like, you're probably not. Here's a good question. You're probably not at 7%. Unless you went into a DEXA scan or got it professionally calibrated, you're just assuming, which is another big thing with a lot of training guys. Like, what gets measured gets managed, and you see it all over the internet. It's like, oh, I eat healthy, or oh, I worked out this much and I did this, but nobody's tracking their calories, nobody's tracking their weight in the morning when they wake up, and that's it. Not after you work out. A lot of people aren't tracking how much weight they lifted from workout to workout. They're not tracking how many days a week they went to the gym. Like if you're not paying attention to just those core things, it's like then everything else doesn't matter. And so you have to measure what you want to get done. Now, training to failure, yeah, I mean, I generally don't, just because I don't need to. I don't think that, your body will grow plenty without having to train to failure to the point of like total exhaustion, because that can almost take you too far down. And there's really no need unless maybe it's sports specific or powerlifting or something. Yeah, rest times vary, like because same thing, and like this is stuff again, like you guys, what you need to be successful in changing your body, you have to understand that you are a scientist and your body is the experiment, and you are responsible for running tests and tracking the data and seeing what works. Okay, so I don't mean crazy stuff, but like, you take what you hear as like a hypothesis and say, okay, I'm going to test that for me and see how it works. Because so somebody's asking, Lewis is asking about rest time per muscle. Well, you can go on the internet and find someone who's going to say you need to rest 24 hours per muscle, 48, 72, 50, whatever. And all of those could be right, all of them could be wrong. So what you have to do is know, and this is where you need to go watch my video on the Spartan 7, because it teaches you how to set up a laboratory where you can test this kind of stuff and see, okay, after I do a heavy bench press day, I need to rest 2 days before I'm really ready to hit it again, or maybe I'm ready the next day, or maybe I need just 1 day off. Ideally, 24 hours between, a good buffer is at least 24 hours. But some variables for that are going to be your age, how much you eat, and how much you've slept. So all those are all variables in the answer to that question. So it would be a disservice for me to just say, well, 48 hours. Again, you need to realize what the variables are, realize that you are the scientist and your body is the lab, and you need to play with those variables and see how it works for you. Are compound movements required for strength? Yeah, you should be doing compound movements. That's if you're doing any kind of training. Weighted dips hurt your shoulders. Yeah, if you're not doing them right, they will. So you may want to back off. Maybe just do regular dips, let your shoulders recover, get your form checked. Do you strength standards as a guideline? Andre, I'm not really sure what the questions are. Yeah, it's more about just keep progressing, getting stronger over time, and along with rotating the exercises. So I do a little bit of both. Do you know smoking weed affects muscle growth? Well, I'm sure it probably doesn't help, especially because it's probably gonna make you eat stuff. It's not ideal. How do you cut? Well, it's very simple. I'll show you. You take some scissors like this. And so guys, like, here's the other, I don't know, this is stuff like, how do you cut? It's like, come on, man, Bryson, like, have you not read that before? Or like, what, like, maybe like get a little more specific on the question, because it's like, yeah, it just good. Good questions will get you good answers. Let's see. I heard you mention you should take breaks every once in a while. Yeah, so that's a good question. Like, how often do you take breaks? I've gotten to the point where I can usually feel when I need to take a break, but usually after 2 to 3 months, I'll take a break. So I was out of town these last 2 weeks, and I decided to take a break. So I took 2 weeks off of lifting, and I wasn't going crazy like eating, but I wasn't eating super healthy either. And yeah, sometimes you just need that to get your body, let your body recharge and recover, because it's not always just about, well, I don't feel sore, so I don't need to rest. Like, nah, that's like little kid stuff. Like, you have to realize, your nervous system needs to rest. Things that you can't feel or tired are going to be tired. And also just a mental break from lifting is going to, when you come back, you're going to be much more excited and much more recharged. And yeah, no need to cut if you're not going to get on a stage. Yeah, exactly. I don't compete, so I don't. That's why I don't bother with cutting. So how many reps for big lifts? I mean, generally a good set is 3 by 5, 3 by 6. That's a good rep range, good set. That's kind of more heavier, more strength based. Which muscle. If you're getting stronger, you're building muscle. So that's a good kind of starter point to use. Um, yeah, again, I don't, like I don't really focus on, how to fix lagging areas because I just train with compound lifts. Usually it kind of helps everything balance out. But when you start doing isolation, a whole bunch of isolation, it can get you out of whack. Not saying it doesn't happen or that there aren't answers to it. I'm just not really qualified to give them because it's not an area that I focus on. I'm sure I have things kind of out of balance, but again, it goes back to what I was talking earlier. It's like what is the priorities, like who really cares? I mean, and if you care, that's totally fine. It's it's your life, like you're responsible for it. So by all means, work on it. But I mean, a good way. Actually, somebody was asking me about that this morning. A guy I had in my office. So if you do have a body part that's lagging behind, what Arnold always did is you have the priority principle. So you train it first, like first in the day, first in the workout, and first in the week. So you hit it when you're freshest. That way it's getting the best quality training. Um, Monarch Ninjas, inner and upper chest genetics, or can you grow them? No, you can definitely grow them. Nathan, my legs have been getting huge from all the squatting and the Spartan rises. Yes, that is the number one like warning I should put on a Spartan rises because guys, once they finish it, they have to go buy new clothes because there's so much, they're more bigger and more fit now, that it doesn't work. So it's up to you. Like, I mean, I think building big legs and doing squats, heavy squats is going to help grow the rest of your body. But if you don't want your legs to get any bigger, then just stay at the same weight that you're squatting, and keep them there. But it's fun. Like, I will say I've lost quite a few pairs of jeans, especially with dance. If I dip a girl, like I'll hear them rip in the back, and that's frustrating when they're nice diesel jeans. But that happens. So that is a warning. If you go through the Spartan program, you may end up needing to buy new pants. Eating a lot of animal protein isn't unhealthy. Scientists say it can give you cancer. Yeah, I mean, everything gives you cancer, So, and this is the kind of thing that's fun on the internet because people say, oh, well, a study said, or scientists say, like, meaning like it's the truth. Like, again, it comes back to you are responsible for your life. You are the scientist in your life, and your body's a laboratory. So, yeah, so it's up to you whether what you want to eat. I eat steak all the time. I love it, and I will not stop eating it. So that's that. But that's my take. If you don't want to eat it, like, I'm not going to say you need to. Supersets and drop sets. Don't know. Don't use them. I've never done them. So that's not to say they don't work, but I'm all about efficiency, right? Like, they're what cracks me up about YouTube and commenters, on not you guys because my audience is awesome, but like everybody else, like you look at the commenters and just forums and stuff. It's like there are guys, they come up to a tree and we have to chop down this tree, and there's an axe on one side and there's a chainsaw on the other side, and like everybody goes and grabs the axe because I don't even know why. And it's like, no thanks, man, I'll just take this chainsaw, zip, and I'm done. So do drop sets and supersets work? I mean, I'm sure they help. I'm not gonna say they don't work, but if you don't need to do it, like, why add excess work? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of my thinking behind it. So, do you find bodyweight exercises useful to build muscle, specifically when you can't hit the gym? Yeah, I mean, they're definitely good. I used to be a gymnast, and so you do a lot of bodyweight exercises there. But same thing, you just need to find a way to be progressively getting stronger. So, in this case, you may not be able to add weight, but you need to increase the reps or shorten the duration between each break. Something that's just putting more stress each time. I do the barbell press, Nathan, standing. So standing press, just like this. Make sure you have your chest up. Boop. And that not only gets your upper chest and your traps and your shoulders, but it really works your whole body because it's your core and it's just a good lift. Um, Intermittent fasting. Yeah, I mean, I've never done it. I mean, I've heard a lot of people who've done it and they liked it, and so I have nothing against it. But again, like the less work I have to do to maintain the health that I want and the fitness level and the strength and the physique that I want, then the less work I'm going to do. So for me, it's like I didn't have to do that to get there, and it just seems like unnecessary extra work. But I've heard a lot of success stories, so that doesn't mean it's not helpful or it couldn't work. Whew. So, anyways, appreciate y'all for being here. We're just kind of running through some questions on on building muscle and really staying focused. I mean, hopefully you're starting to see the importance of staying focused on a few critical things instead of diluting yourself and trying to do 50 things. It's better to do 2 things with excellence than 20 things with mediocrity. Okay, that's going to get you much more results, not only in the gym but really in other areas of your life. So, Fat Damon, do you ever think you'll be as cool as me? Oh, Mr. B. Hen. Well, obviously, how many protein shakes do you think it takes to be as awesome as I am? Well, that is a question that we're still waiting to figure out. Although that sad Affleck video today, man, I was cracking up when I watched that. Does an ectomorph need to focus on strength training? Yeah, I mean, same. So, Samandin, you just need to focus on getting stronger. Like that's so the zero thing is you need to be getting stronger every workout on compound lifts if you want to build muscle. That's the goal there. So anyway, so let's see. We've been running for about 30 minutes, so we're probably gonna go ahead and wrap this up shortly. Just want to test this out and see, what a good time is for guys to show up, answer some training questions, and just have a little bit of fun. Gary, I talked earlier. You can scroll back and watch the on body part splits. Like there is no optimal one. They're all great. It's just a matter of rotating. I'm a xenomorph. I don't know what that is, but that's funny. So there is no optimal one. In fact, you're better off, especially if you're new, just do full body workouts. Christian, I'm not sure, man. Like, again, I don't, like, there's a point of training that I just don't cross, which is like, this calf is bigger than that calf, or this bicep's bigger than the other, and it just to me is just silly. It's like, you focus on getting stronger, being more, because we're lifting for better strength, but also for confidence and to challenge yourself and to help you, have a bigger impact on the world. And if your right calf is bigger than your left calf, well, that's not going to stop you from having a big impact on the world. So it's like, why even waste your energy focusing on that? All right, Luis says, ready to become a Spartan. Good stuff, my man. Do you recommend pause work, such as pause, Brent? Yeah. I mean, Andre, again, you're getting real fancy on me. I don't do fancy stuff. Now, that's not to say fancy stuff doesn't work, but I'm just saying, why do extra work that's unnecessary? Do you stay at your, well, actually, that's different. I'm not going to use that example. But, there's no point in doing extra work because that's wasted energy that could be invested at some other capacity in your life. Yeah, Jake, that's a good question. So, Jake, do you do mobility work and any key stretches you do every day? So, what I do now, because I know the importance of stretching, as a gymnast, but I never would stretch, and I was starting to get tight. And dancing helps keep me loose, but I would go do yoga, and that was fun because there's like hot chicks everywhere. But it's just a pain to get there and forever. So now what I do is I got a yoga mat, and dude, there's so many yoga videos on YouTube. So the first thing when I get up in the morning is I just turn on my Xbox, go to YouTube, type in morning yoga. There's like there's 500 15-minute video routines, and I just do one of those. That's been really helpful. So that's what I would encourage you to do is some type of yoga or some stretching in the morning when you first wake up. Really helps you center and get your day going. But after you lift is also an excellent time. If you're more disciplined than me, it's an excellent time to stretch because you just had a good workout. Yeah, Nathan, I haven't done any 1 rep maxes in a while because all the apps now, like, you can plug in, like, okay, I can do, 225 for 5 reps, like, and then it'll calculate what your 1 rep max is. And I usually go off of that, especially like for here, my gym's in my office, so I'm lifting by myself, so I don't want to max something out and then I overshot it and now I can never film a video again because I died under a bench press bar. So, I usually will go through 5 reps to do it. How do you persuade? How do you get people to work out? Well, you really can't, man. Like, I mean, the best thing you can do is just be an inspiration and encourage them, but you can't force anybody. Like, they've got, as you know, like, it's a tough journey, and you've got to, be committed and really want to accomplish it. So you can help them get excited, but Matt, Brad, there's a spam filter on here, so that's probably why I was blocked. Do I prefer Step Up or Pumping Iron? I haven't seen Step Up, but Pumping Iron was good. That was a fun documentary to watch. Let's see. Louise says, being on a surplus, do you recommend a surplus of a few calories? Yeah, well, okay, so Louise, that's a good question. Like, all right, so you want to gain muscle, so you're eating more calories, but now you're afraid of putting on fat. Well, again, that goes back to you need to watch the Spartan 7 video, which talks about how to set up a lab with your body and test it for 7 days. In 7 days, you're not going to put on a crazy amount of fat that's irreversible. And as long as you're following that, and again, measuring your progress, you're never gonna run into any issues. So it really comes down to, again, measuring what gets managed, what gets measured gets managed. So if you're serious about training, you're serious about putting on muscle, then you need to be serious about measuring. And you don't have to measure everything. You just have to measure a few critical things. You need to measure your weight every week, every Monday morning. You need to wake up first thing when you wake up is weigh yourself, and then you also need to measure your strength to make sure you're increasing in strength. And then an optional thing, but you will need to do at some point, is measure your calories to see how your calorie intake affects your body. Let's see. Why haven't we seen any videos recently? Yeah, I've just been, Andrew, sorry, man. I'm not really sorry, but I've just been busy. And, I haven't really had this is not a bodybuilding channel, so it's like I'm not going to make a bunch of workout videos. This is a channel for men who want to change their lifestyle and change their training focus to support their life and get stronger and more confident. And so I'm moving my material more into that direction. Although I am filming a new video on Sunday, something totally different. I think you guys are really going to dig it. It probably won't come out until a week or two after because it has to be edited and all that. But I think it'll be pretty cool. So Nathan, do you actually eat that much protein? Yeah, I mean, you want to shoot for a gallon, or not a gallon. You want to shoot for a gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. So 75 grams, unless you weigh 75 pounds, that's really small. So you should be eating a lot more. Candido's 6-week program while cutting. Don't know what that is, Ryan. How to increase muscular recovery? Well, you just got to eat more protein and sleep more would be the short answer, and take some creatine if you're not. Any more collabs with Alpha M? Yeah, Aaron's my boy. I love Aaron, man. He's such a cool dude. I just saw him at StyleCon. I was just at his place 2 weeks ago, hanging out, and he's a fun guy. So yeah, maybe we'll do some stuff in the future, but right now, since I'm in Denver, not right this minute. But yeah, so for guys who are just joining us, thanks for being here. We are, just kind of riffing about building muscle, and I haven't done some videos in a while, so I was like, let's do some live coaching to answer some questions, and see what what you're struggling with when it comes to training, and get those knocked out. So what do you think about training a certain body part 3 times a week? Yeah, again, it's like, you got to test for yourself. As long as you're given some breaks between each workout, it could be a great thing, and you're gonna be lifting for the rest of your life. So it's like you can try anything you want. Don't get stuck in the indecision stage because you're just trying to find the perfect routine. Yeah, I mean, I found it, Andre, better to I'll stick with the routine for usually my routines now. I'll stick with them for 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll usually take a week break, and then I'll do a different, a new one in 6 to 8 weeks. That's just the general pattern that I follow. Let's see. Meijin says, "How do you build an appetite to continuously eat throughout the day?" Yeah, well, when you're first starting, it is something that, it can be tough, especially for smaller guys, to build that appetite. But number one, you should be working out, so that will help kind of get your engine going. And the second is you just got to power through it. I mean, some of the stuff isn't easy, so there's no like, oh, here's the easy way to do it. It's like, meh, you just got to eat when you're not hungry, and that's what you got to do. Yeah, Nathan, I haven't watched any Aaron stuff, but again, it's like Aaron and I are in total agreement when it comes to fitness advice. Is all about you find a Yoda for you and you follow that Yoda. If you start mixing Yodas, then you just got a mess, because one guy's strategy combined with another guy's strategy, they both could be good strategies, but combined they're crap. So you just find one and you stick with that, and maybe in a year you switch to something else, or whatnot. So Justin says, "I think I'm ready to try your program." Cool, man. Well, welcome to have you aboard. There's a whole close Facebook group of awesome guys in there who will support you, that you'll get invited to if you join. You can click the link below. That will take you to it. Do I watch any other fitness channels? No, not really. I don't. I mean, I watch my boys Aaron and Antonio, and always see what they're up to, but I don't watch any other fitness channels. No need. Now, I'm working on, there may be a way that I can do a live stream of an actual workout. And that may be something that I'll do, because it's like, well, I'm already going to work out, so we can put that in there. So that may be in the queue. All right, well, Proto wants to know, we're playing soccer for 4 to 5 days a week. It's going to be harder to put on mass. It will help you shred, but it's going to be hard to put on mass with that much cardio. You just got to do your heavy strength training and eat a lot and really focus on your recovery. That will work. So, yeah, good tip for appetite control. If you find yourself eating, always hungry and eating things you're not supposed to be eating, first off is you should be eating, 4 to 6 meals spaced out throughout the day. So not like 1 or 2 big meals, but 4 to 6 throughout the day. And second is increase your fiber intake, because fiber will help you feel more full and resist that and lower that urge for you to want to go snack and eat donuts or something. Are there any lower back exercises other than deadlifts? Yeah, I mean, there's like back extensions, I guess, when you're laying down on that ab thing and doing that. But again, that's the kind of question. It's like, just type that into YouTube and you can go watch, somebody's video on that. So, all right, we've been going strong here, 45 minutes. Thanks, guys, for being here. Probably going to wrap this up here shortly, and looks like I'm getting some notes here. The audio video might not be working super well, but I'll just have to figure that out later. That's how these things roll. We figure it live. Maybe I need a better internet speed. I'm not sure. Did you ever look up Arnold's training? Even though, Arnold's got some good books, so it's always good to just kind of read. And obviously, he kind of, laid the groundwork for a lot of this. So it's always good to watch his stuff. Does it take a long time to build a nice mind-muscle connection? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't even do ab exercises anymore. I mean, squats are good for hitting abs, and I do my squats, Nathan. So the leg raises are good, and that's really all you need to do. CrossFit. That is what is Bro Science has the best video on CrossFit. What does he say? Like teaching the correct way to incorrectly work out forever. So yeah, CrossFit's. I mean, it's silly, but I guess it's better than doing nothing. Unless you get hurt, then maybe not. But yeah, it's not ideal because they don't focus on form. What do you think about minimum no carb diet and building muscle? I don't. You need carbs to build muscle. Carbs aren't bad, so I wouldn't. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Jacob Thompson, what exercises are good for building mass? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You can go watch the 7 exercises for building a Greek god body video. So I've already got that, so you can go watch that there, and that will answer your question, because that's all you need to focus on is just the critical few. Get really good at doing those, and you'll be good. Yeah, CrossFit steals your gains. Yes, it does. What's your working weight when you squat? Right now, I do 3 sets of 5 at 305, 310, and 315. So I'm 175. So yeah, so that's what I do right now. And again, it's not like that's not to failure, but that's a heavy lift for me, and it's like a good workout, and I'm feeling pretty worked out at the end of that. Yeah, I mean, proto, exactly. Like, there's like 5 people in CrossFit who are like the star children in examples. But if you look at the sample size of everybody who does CrossFit, and you look at the people who are ripped and jacked, like Rich Froning and Dan Bailey, and the people who are not and who are injured and never lifting again because of CrossFit, there's going to be a tiny bit over here and a giant over here. So that's, it's funny because that's what the CrossFit zealots always try to point to, but they're not looking at the whole picture because it doesn't help. What is your bench press max right now? Well, let's see. So I use an app called Strong. So I have obviously an iPhone, and I like the Strong app because it really focuses on your strength. And so says my record right now is 245 pounds times 8. I don't know what that is in one set. So I haven't done an actual one rep max on bench in a long time. But yeah, so again, somebody asked me about doing one rep maxes, and I really don't do them anymore. Have I ever had problems with my grips, especially for deadlifts? Yeah, I mean, with deadlifts, I have chalk, so I use that to help with grip when I'm working out. And then deadlifts, I use the reverse grip, so you've got 1 over, I was supinated, so 1 over, 1 under. That helps me get a little bit better. The app is called Strong, Gary. It's just Strong, and it's on the iPhone. I don't know if it's on Android or not, but yeah, it's just called Strong. Paleo diet for lean gains. I mean, the thing with all kinds of diets, so paleo, vegan, vegetarian, intermittent fasting, South Beach, whatever, like, it's not the particular diet that works or makes it successful. What makes it successful is that it forces you to pay attention to what you're eating. So if you're paleo, now all of a sudden, oh, I can only eat these things. Or if it's South Beach, oh, I can only eat this. Or if it's vegan, oh, I can only eat this. So now you're bringing awareness to what you're putting into your body, and that's really the key to success, is being aware, again, kind of what gets measured gets managed, and being aware of what you're putting in your body. But paleo, they really push more natural foods and all that, so I think it's certainly good. Yeah, I mean, I do believe like that was how I had my biggest change, Mario, was counting calories. If you go to the Spartan Rises link below, you can see like my boat picture, and going from that to where I am now, like the biggest driver, yeah, it was lifting correctly, but the one that accelerated the change the most was counting my calories for a couple months and just really learning about how food affected my body, and that's what made the biggest leap for me. Do I count them now? No. I mean, every once in a while, maybe for a week, I'll track it just to kind of see where I'm at. But yeah, so calisthenics. I mean, yeah, calisthenics. Certainly not bad for you. I mean, like I said, I don't really do any of them. I dance because that's how I get my cardio in. Do you use any kind of fitness tracker? I use. I don't use a fitness tracker because I think they're a waste of time. It doesn't really tell you anything valuable. But what I do use is two things from Withings. I have a wireless Wi-Fi scale that when you step on it, it weighs you and it sends it wirelessly, not Bluetooth, but on Wi-Fi to your account. And then I have their thing called Aura, which is like a sleep sensor. And it's not like a stupid thing you have to wear on your wrist and then you have to tap it before you go to sleep, which I would never do. It's a sensor that literally goes under your mattress. So you lay down on your bed, and it starts tracking. It tracks your heart rate. It knows when you fall asleep, and that's been really cool to measure my sleep and see like when you're in a deep sleep, how long you are. So those two are the fitness trackers that I've been using, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm an athlete. I hurt my back deadlifting. When I heal, I want to avoid deadlifting. Well, I mean, I don't know if avoiding it's the way to go, man. I mean, first of all, like, wait till you're healed, but then second of all, like, get your form fixed because that's the problem. And then third, like, just keep at low weight for a long time, to build that strength up. That's the way I would go. Do I do a warm-up scheme or routine? Yeah, I mean, nothing fancy. I just do, like for squats, I'll just warm up, a lot of warm-ups because it's a big exercise. So I'll do, 3 to 5 sets of just warm-up sets, a very lightweight, I'll start with a bar, always do the bar first, then 135, and then 225, and kind of warm up with that, and then jump into training. Yeah, I mean, Proto, that's a good question. I'm working on coming up with some baseline metrics of like, okay, if you weigh this much, the first milestone you need to reach when you're training is you should be able to bench, squat, and deadlift this much because that gives guys a concrete, measurable way to grow. But I don't have those answers for you right now. Sorry. What do you think about training early in the morning, training after work? I think whatever one you're going to do is the best one to go. So I like mornings right now, but there have been times when I prefer to train after work. Colin, I don't do supersets, so I can't really provide any feedback on that. What do you think about training while fasting? I don't think it's not ideal because your body needs energy to lift. So you're coming in training not able to provide the stress that you need on your muscles to grow. So I wouldn't focus on that. But all right, guys, cool. Well, it's been fun. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. I gotta get back to work, but we'll look at maybe doing some more of these. If you found this helpful, let me know. Throw it in the chat. Yeah, throw it in the chat wherever that is, or you could throw it in the chat box down below, and I'll think about how we can start doing stuff like this and make it a little more fun and make sure it's focused. And my main thing is like you're getting actionable information. I'm not wasting my time and you're not wasting your time. So that's kind of the benefit. So Rube says thanks, it was great, awesome. Ariel says thank you. Yep, sure thing, man. Yeah, Proto. Okay, so I started working out consistently at about 24. So I'm 32 now. So I've been doing it for 8 years solid. And that's what I'm saying for you guys, like understand this is a lifestyle change. You're going to be lifting for the rest of your life. Nathan says very helpful. Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. I'm glad you liked Spartan Rises. Great to have. Luis says thanks for the support. You're the real deal. Of course I am, but thank you. And J Max says thanks. Cheers, Colin. Sweet as. If I have anybody in New Zealand, I love saying sweet as. It's just funny. Andre, I know you're in Brazil. Thanks for being here, man. I'm glad you found it helpful. And yeah, please do more of these and announce. Yeah, I think it's something I might do. a little more consistently. I love you too, Brad. Thanks. It was good, helpful advice. Awesome, Gary. Glad you enjoyed it. And cool. All right, fellas. Well, I'll wrap this up. I'll leave it live for a little bit. I may take it down. I may want to kind of keep these. You got to be here to enjoy it, and if you're not here, you missed out on all the good stuff. So we'll wrap up here. And thanks, guys. You all have a good day, good Friday. Get in the gym. And remember, never retreat, never surrender, and keep moving forward.